Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's EJ Marino, and this is About Last Night, the show where I talk about the movie I saw last night. I am so excited to jump into this brand new episode. Yes, I am talking about the new film, Halloween. After 40 years of making movies in this franchise, it feels like 2018's Halloween finally perfected the formula. Yes, the style is great, the tone is amazing. This movie gets what this whole franchise should have been from the beginning. Now, only if this was a stronger cinematic experience as a whole. Yeah, this is like the tale of two stories for me. On one hand, I really enjoy a lot about this movie. There were some great moments that I'm like, oh, thank you, I've been waiting for that. I didn't know I needed that, but thank you. And on this other hand, there's just a lot that I'm like, I'm really torn of how I feel because, like I said, there was moments that are great, but some of those bad moments or some of those moments that aren't as strong as the others really weigh down that good. Enough for me to be I'm in the middle about this. I would never tell anyone this is a great movie or this is a bad movie. This is fine. This is a middle-of-the-road slasher film. And maybe I wanted more from this. Maybe I expected Blumhouse to reinvent Halloween for me. But sadly, like I said, just more of the same. Deep down inside this movie, there is a strong, artful, inventive, refreshing Halloween movie. Deep in there, I see it. Maybe like if another draft of the script could have taken out some of those issues like we'll talk about that. But you know, I'm really confused of what could have made this movie the perfect movie for me. And I know what it is. And now I've thought about it, I've sat on it. It would have been to see a great character study, a good look at what trauma has done to 3 generations of women. Yes, Laurie Strode has had a daughter, who in turn, that daughter's had her own daughter, and the trauma that happened in 1978 to her mother, Laurie, it has affected her deeply, so much so that it's gone down generations. And that is an amazing place to start. And it didn't start there, and it started with this weird trying to make Michael somewhat sympathetic. Maybe it was just that doctor's character to make me kind of question of being like, well, Michael is a human. We are just, you know, we treat Michael like this monster, and in reality, he is just a person. No. I'm sorry, I know the rest of these movies are not canon, but Michael is the personification of evil, whereas like a Jason from the Friday the 13th, he is just this mama's boy who just got like wrapped up into this really bad world of killing, and I forgive Jason sometimes, where Michael, no, you are not sympathetic. You are a brutal killing machine. Okay, let's do that. Let's focus on what makes Michael Michael. Oh wait, we did that in the Rob Zombie movies and all you guys hated those. I'm just very confused of what I wanted from this movie because what I got is not exactly what I was craving. I am not a Halloween fan by any means. This is one of my least favorite slasher franchises. But there was something in here that I knew could have been what could have sold all of us, what could have been a brand new version of the original. And what I mean by that is something that changes the game. Nothing about 2018's Halloween is a game changer. It is going to reinvent the genre. I honestly, after this, I don't even know if we should do more slasher movies, because if they're just gonna be like this, we haven't progressed far enough. Going back to my issues with the core elements of the characters and the story, I felt like this 40-year rivalry between Laurie and Michael was fairly one-sided. It felt like Laurie has lived her life ruined by the trauma of this event, where Michael, once he gets out, yeah, he wants to kill Laurie, but like, he has other game plans. He's like, I want to go kill that person. Oh my God, I haven't seen her in a while. I can't wait to kill her. There was just a lot that I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But I want this to be about Michael and Laurie. I got more of their rivalry from Halloween H2O than I got in this movie. Truly, like, once Michael gets out, it's kind of like a vignette in the middle. It's just like, and now let's watch Michael up his body count. Cool, like, this is where my my conflicting vibes, that middle section where Michael's just going through Haddonfield and just slashing and hacking and some of the most brutal gore in this franchise. Awesome. But what did it do to progress the plot? I really wanted to see this movie advance the plot of just the Laurie and Michael rivalry, let alone the plot within the movie. I wanted all of this to actually push things forward, and it really, truly, I'm back to where I was before this movie started. I think in the nicest way, why did this movie need to happen? What did they tell me that was different? I guess the only different or kind of commentary I can find in what my complaints are, so let me take a complaint and make it a good. Michael has assaulted Laurie back in the 70s. Laurie has lived her life thinking about this. It has ruined her relationship with her daughter, which has in turn ruined her relationship with her granddaughter. Whereas Michael, does Michael even think about Laurie? Does he even really care that much? And to me, that is a brilliant commentary on what sexual assault or assault does in a male and female relationship. There is times where that woman will live her life in fear, traumatized by these events, where the man just kind of goes on to does it again. And, you know, she's just kind of one in a notch of a bunch of things. Whereas in this, I wanted it to, I guess Michael is just kind of like that with Laurie. He's just like, oh yeah, I'll kill you, I remember you, yeah. Where to me, that only makes the Laurie-Michael relationship even weaker. Even just more, I'm like, it's not her brother anymore. He doesn't have this real sick rage to just kill her. What is it? What's going on here? None of these were answered. All these questions that I thought they were gonna like, oh, we're gonna redo this whole franchise. And I was just like, why though? After that, you could have at least gave me Halloween 1 and 2 and this one. No? You could have done, oh, hold on, Halloween 1 and 2 and H2O in this one? No, just gonna go back to basics? Really back to basics? To me, the most fulfilling part of this movie is how they got the Halloween formula down amazingly. What do I mean by that? To me, this movie is a perfect mix of 1978's John Carpenter's Halloween with Rob Zombie's 2007 remake. This mixed both of those together for one solid tone, style, and formula. I was so happy. We got a really brutal Michael. I mean, not just the kills that he does. Michael as a presence is brutal, is terrifying, and I like that. I think that's something that Rob Zombie's Halloween did really well. I felt there was a monster behind the mask. And in this one, I was really happy to be like, ooh, Michael's a monster. I'm genuinely kind of scared of this guy. Okay, great. But what they also had was suspense. I think that's what Carpenter's original Halloween is so credited for, is being so thrilling, so suspenseful, for being that like, ooh, what's gonna happen next? Which is a great feeling, and this movie had it as well. I would say the last 30 minutes is when I was the most like, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh my God, that happened? I was really impressed with the last 30 minutes because it got really suspenseful. It got to almost be that murder mystery that you're like, ooh, what's happening? Who did it? Ooh, oh, I love that feeling. I really wish that like last final act of this movie could have been stretched out the whole movie. That's how I would have fixed this movie. Is Laurie in her house, we see it in the trailers a lot, stick there, stay there. Maybe Michael killing some people along the way to that house, but go to that house and stay in it. Because oh my God, the suspense there, everything being built, like the maze of it, I love that, and I was into that. That house actually reminds me of kind of how that original house with Laurie was laid out, how there was just elements and places to hide. And there's so many callbacks. She saw that closet and was like, oh, he's in the closet, not gonna go there. She gets knocked off a balcony. Guess who's not on the floor when Michael goes to check? There was things that I was like, this is so set up like the original that I like. But with that look into mental illness, that look into what makes the monster is still there. And like I said, as much as we bash the Rob Zombie movies, well, I don't, but as much as the general public doesn't like those, they gave me a character study into Michael. And in this movie, with this new one, I wanted a little bit more of that. I wanted that study to what makes Michael tick. They kind of said it in a brief one line where they're like, you know, Michael and Laurie have lived their life through this trauma. Is this the only thing that's keeping them alive? And I was just like, oh, that is genius. And that's one sentence, and you'll never hear that again. And that guy's a villain now. So there was so much in here that I was like, oh, there it is. There's the movie I want, and it's gone. If I'm gonna leave you off with anything, you should see this Halloween film. If you're a fan of the slasher genre, if you're a fan of the Halloween franchise, this movie is going to work well for you. But if you're wanting something to be a little bit push the boundaries more, reinvent the wheel, this is not for you. Don't go into it like I did, thinking that this was going to like reinvent the Halloween movies. This does nothing of the sort, but it is still an entertaining movie. The gore is amazing, top-notch special effects. The suspense is there. The characters, when I got some good character moments, Laurie was amazing. Her daughter had a great moment near the end. Michael, I felt the brutality from Michael. I felt that monster in him. Amazing work from Nick Castle, who played Michael in the original. Some great stuff there. So there is some things to praise, but for the most part, I thought this was like, been there, done that, seen it once, seen it before, I'm good. But that's kind of my feelings on all the Halloween movies. They're not, to me, the most inventive, the most genre pushing. As much as slashers is credited to be started by Halloween, no. We have Black Christmas 4 years before it, Texas Chainsaw Massacre before that, 18 years before that was Psycho. So no, Halloween is not the inventor, it just perfected the formula. And now it's just content with doing the same formula over and over again, even though this is the first time that the formula felt fresh and new in a very long time. Thank you again for tuning into my review. Please give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Also, please comment down below. What are your thoughts on the Halloween franchise? What are your thoughts on the Halloween movie, this new one? What's your favorite out of all the Halloween movies? Do you like John Carpenter's? Are you a Season of the Witch fan? Do you like those weird Rob Zombie ones? Let me know down in the comments below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I make videos like this every single week. Thank you so much for tuning in to About Last Night.